Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the playable races in Elder Scrolls Online. Just as a heads up, at the end of the video I will show you my personal character sheet so you actually can see what kind of classes I play with what kind of races. So now if we go through the races, I will always make sure to show you the passives when you are at level 50, so maxed out, so you can see what kind of passives you will get, okay? Then one small note, play whatever you like if you're not the min-maxer, okay? Just try to enjoy the game for yourself, don't feel to be pushed into any role, that's the most important. What does min-maxing mean? So let's say I'm a damage dealer and I really want to get the max damage output possible, then you need a certain race, okay? But like for 99% of the Elder Scrolls players it doesn't matter, okay? So just play whatever you like, I really recommend that. Anyway, let's get started. So first off we have the Breton here. So as you can see, Bretons are a really nice Magicka class, mostly preferred by healers as they give like spell cost reduction, plus they have increased max Magicka, really nice. Next up, the High Elves or Altmers. So those are usually one of the preferred damage dealer races of Magicka setups. As you can see, they get Magicka recovery, they get like max Magicka 10%, plus they get increased damage on frost, fire and shock effects. Really strong class. Then we have Argonians. So Argonians first off look really cool, okay? That's probably the best reason why you would want to play one. Then what else do they have? So they are a really nice healing race because you see you get increased healing, plus whenever you drink a potion, for example, like you gain more resources back than other classes, you get more, like a small amount of extra max Magicka, and then you also get more max health, plus you get some poison and disease resistance, and of course the most important, you gain 50% swimming speed. So there has been a lot of healers playing Argonians lately because it's a really nice race. Then next up, Orcs. So as you can see, Orcs are actually a really nice strong overall class, mostly for stamina setups. Because you see increased max health and stamina, then they get extra damage done, plus they can run faster and the sprinting costs less. And they get more healing received. So those kind of make them one of the stronger stamina races, especially if you're looking to PvP with it. Mostly in PvP, okay? There has been quite a lot of orcs actually running around lately, if I recall correctly. So I really recommend actually choosing an orc if you want to. There is a few others, we will get to them soon. Then we have Wood Elves. So Wood Elves are a nice stamina race also for PvP. If you like for example for a Nightblade, if you like ganking, it's actually really nice because you see you get extra max stamina, some poison disease resistance, plus it reduce your detection radius in stealth by 3 meters, plus increase damage done while in stealth by 10%. So that's why I say if you want to be a ganker, it's probably a really nice choice to go to. And of course they also have 21% extra stamina recovery, which is a lot. Next up, Dark Elves. So Dark Elves are probably the, let's say, the top damage race if it comes to Magicka setups for most classes. Like the difference between Dark Elf and High Elf is really small. Now what do Dark Elves get? So for example, like they get extra flame resistance, so if you want to be a vampire this can come in handy. They get 3% max Magicka from the resist flame passive, and then you see the dynamic passive gives them another 6% extra max Magicka, so you have a total of 9% max Magicka plus 6% extra stamina. and your flame damage is increased by 7%, plus frost and shock damage is increased by 2%. So that's why most people, like for example if you're a min-maxer, choose a dark elf for the maximum damage output. But again, the difference is really small. Next up, Redguards. So Redguards is probably the best race for sustained fights because they have a really strong perk called Adrenaline Rush. As you can see, your melee attacks restore 3% of your max stamina. This has a 5-second cooldown. So this is really nice, and like the resource management is just so much easier on a Redguard, believe me. Like I probably have 4 of them, I will show you in a second. Also they get 9% stamina recovery and 10% max stam. So also really nice choice if you want to play a kind of damage dealer setup for both like PvP and PvE. Then we have a Kahjiit. So Kahjiits are actually really nice, plus they're cool looking. So first off, like they also get the stealthy passive, which reduces the detection radius by 3 meters, and they get 10% extra damage done. Plus the Carnage gives them 8% extra weapon critical. This is a lot. And the Carnage passive is the reason why they are kind of the strongest damage dealers in PvE. As long as you can sustain it, okay. Just saying. Then the last passive, you get like increased health recovery and like 10% extra stam recovery. So if you think, like let's say for PvE, like Redguard versus Kahjiit, if you can sustain fights, use a Kahjiit because it is more damage. If you have troubles with sustaining, then use a Redguard. Next up, the Nords. So probably a lot of you want to play Nords due to Skyrim, so let's just check what they have. They first off, like they get max stamina plus 20% health recovery. Then the next up, they get some cold resistance. Doesn't really matter, there's not a lot of cold damage in the game. And they get 9% extra health. And then the rocket passive reduces incoming damage by 6%. So that makes them a really nice tanking choice. Not the best, but like Zenimax kind of improved the passives of this race. So now it's actually competitive to others. So if you want to play a Nord tank, go for it. Then we have the Imperial race. So this one is only available if you have the Imperial edition, if I remember correctly. This is kind of the best tanking race there is, simply because, as you can see, increases max health by 12%, increases max stam by 10%. So those two that's just insane. So much extra health and so much max stamina. Then we have the Red Diamond. Like your melee attacks have a 10% chance to restore 6% of your max health. So it's not really strong, but it can come in handy. But most people play this race because of the extra health and extra stam, especially really nice for tanks. So that's just a short like explanation of what the races are like. Again, in the end, just really play what you like the most, okay? What's most appealing to you. Now let's go check out my character sheet. So now we are here in my character select screen. So basically you can have a total of 12 characters. When you buy the game you have 8 slots and you can buy 4 additional ones. I bought 3 additionals so far. So let's just get really quickly through them. This here is a Templar Redguard, so a stamina based character. Then we have a, you see it in the top left corner, a Sorcerer Dark Elf, Magicka based. Then we have a Dragon Knight, High Elf, Magicka based character. Nightblade Kahjiit, stamina based. Templar Breton, this is actually a healer, so it's Magicka based. Then we have another Templar High Elf, so this is one of my damage dealers, Magicka based. Sorcerer Redguard, this is a stamina based character. And then another Dragon Knight, Redguard this time, so it's also a stamina based. Dragon Knight Kahjiit against stamina based. And then I'm leveling another sorcerer Kahjiit, also stamina based. And I just started with a new sorcerer high elf. Magicka setup. So you see I have a lot of Redguards, I have a lot of high elves and Kahjiits. So that's just, I don't know, it's just what I prefer. Sure, like I could choose a dark elf here, the damage would be slightly higher, but it really doesn't matter, I just prefer the looks of high elves. Okay, really simple. So that's my character sheet. Now, if you have any questions to the races or whatsoever, just ask in the comment section below. You also can catch me streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/ALCASTHQ. If you have any questions or just want to check out what's going on. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.